Hello everyone, my name is Prasad Narwadkar and today we'll talk about Selenium automation testing. So now let's understand what's test automation. So test automation is something which helps developers to test their web applications or mobile applications or APIs or anything else using an automated script. So this automated script acts on behalf of the user, so you do not have to hire any additional manual testing engineers to do the automation testing. The developers can write the automation scripts, or even today there are some manual testing engineers which are transitioning to automation test engineers by learning to test automation tools such as Selenium. So this is how the whole thing works. So for testing a web application, Selenium doesn't care if the application is developed in a particular technology. Any technology is fine with Selenium. The only thing is why this happens is because Selenium is not an application testing tool. It's a browser driver. It drives the browser and browser runs your web application, and that's how the commands are sent to your web application in the background. So this automation will definitely help you to test your applications faster in a very neutral way, in a very objective way rather than subjective way, and there is no bias because you will decide along with the manual test engineers. You will decide which scripts to write, and then you will write those scripts and run the application. So how does this work? So I'm just trying to run a web application here, which is a very simple web application. Let me show you the web application itself. So this is my web application. Here I can show the movies. It just shows a list of movies. It could be any other application, but as long as you understand how it works. So let's deep dive into code, right? So first of all, I'm using Selenium bindings for Java. Selenium has stronger support for Java, but that doesn't mean that you cannot do Selenium test scripting in, say, Python or even C#. So it's just a matter of choice, but Selenium Java has the strongest sub-community support, but you can always do this in Python as well as C#. So let us see how this is done in Java. So I've installed some packages related to Selenium like this, and something related to JUnit. So JUnit will actually tie or connect our tests to the Selenium test. So how it happens is, so I'm adding a new class, and then I have set up tear down and those kinds of methods, and then based on that you can see that this has a before attribute, which means before test cases are run, this setup will be done. After the test cases are done, run, then this after attribute method or function is run, and the @ test attribute is the actual test which will run. And as you can see, you can find out more about this on selenium.org. I think now it has been moved to selenium.dev, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it has gone to now selenium.dev, and on that you can go to documentation and find out the quick starts and everything. It's very straightforward, and still I'll take you to all the things that are needed. Now first of all, as you can see that there is a lot of comments here, which is good. So first step is to initialize a Chrome driver. You can learn about drivers on the selenium.dev website as well. So I'm running this Chrome driver. This is my Windows machine. So if you have a Linux machine, then Linux Chrome driver will need to be installed and run. So I'm initializing the Chrome driver here. Then JavaScript executor is required if you want to run something which is on the client side, and you want to take the client side executor into account. Then you can use this executor. Otherwise, driver class has pretty much everything to help you, right? So let's go ahead with it. First of all, I'm opening the web applications URL. So driver.get. You can have anything here like google.com. You can go to any website you want to run, and then there is some. I'll also come to Selenium IDE, where you can run an IDE to generate your test scripts automatically. Otherwise, you can do this manually as well. All right, let's get with it. So let's say this is localhost 5001, and on the port 5001 I'm running this application, movies application. Then I do some set size. This is not really very crucial, but this is how it is. So for example, it clicks a button called login, and then what happens is it enters. So it gets the login link and clicks it, and then it takes to login page. On that login page, it says that there is an email text box, password text box, and it sends the keys. Sending keys means entering the values, and then it clicks in remember me. Then it submits the button, and then your login is done. Then you go to the that link where the movies are shown. So it says movie app.click, and then from there is create new, and create new, you enter the values in, say, title, release date, genre. Then you enter the select the drop down and then say drama as your genre. Then you enter the price. Then you enter the rating drop down. So in enter rating drop down, if you use a kind of a API call on your application using JavaScript such as Ajax. So using if that API calls takes some time, then immediately this particular option will not be available for that matter. So no option will be available, and then if you try to click on that option, you try to find out that option like this. So for example, here what I'm doing is I have three options, A, B, C as ratings. A for maximum, B for medium, and then C for minimum. So if I use this, then this will not be available until I wait for that API call to happen. So I'm just giving an arbitrary value as 4. Your value will differ depending on the API you call in your dropdown to populate your dropdown options. And then finally I'm clicking on that option, which is B. I'm selecting B from the list of A, B, C, and then what I'm doing is I'm clicking that option. So this is how I click the option, and then I do click on the primary button to save it. So this is how it works. So let us get on with the testing, and let me close this. So I'm running this as a JUnit test, and you can see how it works. It shows the running of the applications. See, now this is all being automated, and it clicks on the values, waits for the rating, selects it, and then it completes your right. So the login test is also run, but I just wanted to run the add in new movie test. So you can just skip the login test to not be run. and you can just run the individual file as well, which is the add a new movie test. So let's go ahead with finding out whether the new movie has been added by this uh, test, Selenium test. Let's do that. First let us log in. As you can see, this part, this record has been added in an automated way by our Selenium Java test script, and you did not hire any manual testing engineer to do this. But I would say that manual test engineers are still needed because they add some human factor to the testing of web applications. So whenever you have automation testing, hire some manual testing engineers so they can tell you about how they run their own test scripts, and then you run those test scripts in Selenium to actually be able to create script for your Selenium test. So this is how the whole end-to-end scenario works. The manual testing engineer will tell you about the test case. Then you run that test case using Selenium IDE, which is a Chrome extension, or otherwise you can also install your own IDE. Okay, let me just open the IDE project. Yeah, so I'm opening this existing project, and this is how you can start the recording. Okay, you can add a new test. For example, let me add some new tests. Say for example, Google search. I'm just doing this to explain to you how this thing works. So let me just run google.com, and then I will just type Selenium. So it shows some search results, right? And I'm clicking on the first result. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to go here, and let's stop the recording. So now we can see that let us save the project as well. So as we can see, the save the project. We have saved the project now, and now we can go to here, and you can see that whatever actions or activities are done by the user that are being shown here, and these are the steps that are that are being done, and this is how it works. So for example, what the command was, like this was click, this was target click, and this is, and then this is how the you can step over the current command also. You can add commands here also. So it's quite easier to do this. And so if I want to say, for example, let's export this to something called, say, C#, then there is JavaScript Mocha, and then there is Python PyTest. You can do anything, and then you can just say export, and it will give you a file called Google Search Test.java. You can rename the file if needed, and let's open this file in our right? So as you can see, this is a very simple script, and this actually goes to show that this is how it happens. So that's how it works. And then you have the usual setup, tear down, and main test method. And here how it is, how the first result is basically clicked over here, and this is how the button is clicked. And you can as well run this current test as well. Right. So this is successfully completed. So this is how it works as well. So let's run it once again. Yeah, this is how the first result is also clicked. So everything happens in an automated way, and it helps you to basically test all your web applications. And this Selenium IDE is very useful to basically record your steps, what you did on the web application, which buttons you clicked, which options you select in a particular drop down, and then what text or what string you entered in a particular text boxes, and so on. So this is how the overall Selenium automation works. If you have any questions on Selenium and how to do this, how to formulate the projects, how to build the projects, Selenium projects, how to run them, please let me know in the comments. Thank you very much.